Welcome back, Shalloners. We got another story time. Today I want to talk about loneliness and making friends and moving someplace, whether it's a new college or a study abroad or a whole new city or even just transferring jobs sometimes where you don't know anyone. You're kind of the new kid in town. You're the odd man out. You're kind of starting from scratch socially. It can be really, really daunting to the point that a lot of people don't do this. A lot of people stay right where they're born because to do something like this is really, really intense and scary. So if you're watching this video because you're contemplating or have done something where you're totally shaking up your social system, moving to a place where you don't know anyone or starting over, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Because just know, like I said, not everyone does this. So today I'm going to talk about my experience moving from New York City, where I have a ton of friends. I know everybody. And now I'm in a town in Montana and I don't know a soul in this whole state. I picked up, I left everything that I knew to move across the country to a town that I just picked off a map, never been before, don't know anyone who's been here or lived here, and I'm making it work. So we're going to talk about it and how to combat loneliness and how to make friends in a new environment. But before we do, just want to remind you that if you have a love question, find me on my website, shallonlester.com. If you want a video shout out and maybe a pep talk for a friend or a birthday wish, find me on Cameo at ShallonXO. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO, where I'm documenting my whole life transition, plus a lot of inspirational quotes and some feedback and stuff like that from you guys. It's good times. So yeah, I'm the new kid in town. I'm the new kid in a small town in Montana. Now, like I said, I've been bouncing around a little bit, but I think I've kind of settled on where I want to be. And the town is 30,000, 40 people, which seems large. So as you guys might know, if you're loyal Shalligators, I picked up and moved from New York City, where I've lived my entire adult life since I graduated college, to Montana, to a small town, to a new town. And yeah, I don't know anybody here. And I had said in my video about why I decided to move to Montana that I kind of needed a challenge and I was getting really dependent on my friends and they were kind of the only thing that was making me happy anymore in New York City. And as I was saying that, it's well, then why would you leave the only thing that's making you happy just to have the challenge of making new friends? And kind of, I needed to prove to myself that I could make more friends and that was no longer the monster under the bed, that, oh my God, I can't leave New York because I'm never going to make friends again. And it's never about replacement friends. We know that. If you're on this channel, your friends are probably like your family. That's how I am. We're all this kind of sisterhood. And I'm never looking to weed out people and you put new people in. If you're my friend, if you're in my best friend group, that goes on forever. You're stuck with me. Sorry. Like a horrible virus or a hideous tattoo of a Monster Energy logo. It's me and you, baby. So I needed to know that hey, I can leave my baby girls. We're still going to be close. I needed to prove that to myself. I needed to see that or not see it, that's important. I'm hey, if I was thinking about spending the next 5 years in New York to still be around my friends and, oh wait, they stopped texting me if I'm gone for 6 weeks, I need to know that. I need to walk in the light of the truth about where I'm putting my priorities and my loyalties because, it's other people are moving on with their lives. They're living in a city that they like. They're dating and doing things. And it's if you're only there for one person or one social group, your life isn't really progressing. And that is kind of the point I got to. So I like to be alone. I'm an only child. It's kind of how I restore myself. And I like to travel alone. And I've done videos on I spent probably a week in Paris by myself. I've traveled to Rome by myself. I travel a lot and I always leave room in my life for travel and adventure. And it's, as you get older, fewer and fewer people are down for whatever and down to go. They've got jobs that they can't just ditch out on. They've got kids, they've got husbands, their schedules are legitimately so much more busy, or their money's just allocated differently. I don't have kids, husband, I don't have anything. So I'm always ready to spend my money on hey, a week in the Grand Caymans or whatever. But I get that not a lot of people can do that. And I'm not going to turn things down just because I don't have a +1. I think that's, really kind of clipping your own wings. And traveling alone is It's cool because you can do whatever you want. And I've always said that to me is the definition of luxury. Luxury isn't like incredible food and Hermes bags. It's freedom. It's freedom. And I talked in my video about money and what wealth means and how we use wealth for basically 3 things: power, freedom, or belonging. And for me, it's freedom. Like, I'm very freedom based. Look, I fucking moved to Montana where it's just like, freedom, USA. We're really into it out here. And I like that aspect of solo travel because I can just go wherever I want and do whatever I want on my schedule and my time and follow my nose. But I remember when I was in Rome like last year, and I was going on this it was called Tuscan Women Cook. It's this incredible culinary program that it's like an immersive culinary experience in Tuscany, and you cook all day, and you have like these Italian grandmothers, and they're teaching you how to cook, and you make like a 5-course meal for breakfast, and then you take a nap. There's always a nap time. But I built in like a week in Rome before that. Rome is the city that holds my heart. I studied abroad there. It is truly my heart's home. And by like day 4, I was like, holy shit, I can't do this. I was getting really depressed, partly because Rome, when I lived there, I did have a big group of friends. We were studying abroad. And so it was sad to be there and not have that group. But partly I was just lonely. Some of it was the language barrier. You can't just chat someone up at the bar. I speak Italian, but not good enough where I felt okay to be like, hey, like to just a stranger and like chit chatting. I don't know. I just was in my own head about it. And I started to feel really upset and really, really lonely. And thank God I had like a dinner with one of my friends who lived there scheduled, because I was like, Shivani, please don't cancel. I have to see you. But you feel pathetic. You feel like you are on the dark side of the moon. Like you feel like an observer of life, no longer a participant. You feel like you're a passenger in this vehicle that everyone else is in and having fun. Like every person you see at a cafe, they're having the best time of their life. Every couple, best couple in the world. Like you look at everyone's interaction, you're like, I would give anything to be making that latte and just talking to someone else making a different latte. You just kind of catastrophize and blow every other social interaction out of proportion, which doesn't help because loneliness is sort of a fear-based reaction. It is cousins to anxiety, I think, because it tells us the same thing. Anxiety is like, worst case scenario is coming. This is going to end poorly. Everyone hates you, blah, 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 whatever that fill in the blank is. And loneliness kind of says the same thing, doesn't it? You fucking loser. Nobody loves you. You're completely alone in this world. What a weirdo you are. And loneliness is especially poignant because we are tribal animals. We're pack animals. And our social inclusion needs, I've said this before, are higher and more intense than our need for survival many, many, many times. And that's why we will stay in like a dangerous situation, like an emotionally dangerous situation versus feeling ostracized. We make these micro calculations and we stay there. And so for us to feel lonely feels like I am without a tribe. It goes to the DNA level for ourselves, right? And so that's why it's very difficult, and it's very difficult to talk yourself out of it, but it's not impossible. One thing you got to remember, you do have friends. You do. You might not have them right here in this room, down the block, whatever, but you have them. And think of how easy it is to keep in touch. We are in the golden age, I always say, of what? Fuck boys and TV shows about storage units. Exactly. And also keeping in touch. There are so many ways to keep in touch. And I think Miss Rona, has prepared us for this. COVID and the lockdown forced us to get creative about how we keep in touch with people. Most of us millennials are not like phone call people. Like you see that thing ring and you're like, it's just panic. But we did it during quarantine. That's how we kept up with people. We were having phone calls with people who maybe we'd only check in with on Facebook, but it's like, hey girl, friend from high school, let's do a Zoom, let's do a FaceTime. And we all sort of flexed that muscle collectively and we're like, okay, we kind of broke the seal. We got a little bit more comfortable there, worked out the kinks. And now the time is right to take that big leap. And I've said in my video about why I moved here, Corona was a big thing, not only because I realized I didn't miss New York, and also because New York is a fucking garbage fire. I mean, it is It's a literal garbage fire. I've been saying that, but I meant that because COVID hit it so hard. And I'm like, we as New Yorkers always think like, we're tough, nothing's gonna get us, we can survive anything. Just kidding. But then it got set on fire during the riots, and now the sewage systems are overflowing. So I'm good. But during Rona, I realized that I could still keep in touch with people. And even if I didn't see my friends every week, even if we only just did like a Zoom call once a week or once every 2 weeks, we all still loved each other and we were all still there for each other. And one of my friends, she does wine tastings with her other friends, like her friends from college. They'll do a wine tasting. They'll get like, she's like, we don't need to open like 6 bottles, like 6 individual bottles, but they'll open 1 bottle and then they'll do like a cheese tasting or something. So they'll get 6 different kinds of cheese. She's like, we can easily polish that off. And they'll just, even if they're all drinking the same bottle, it's just a thing to do. And they do it over Zoom. I'm like, that's such a good idea. And my friends and I, we do something called a bitch and stitch. We do cross stitch together. It started as a crafternoon, and we'll just, sometimes if we just want to get together, but we don't want to do a full blown crafternoon because it's a lot of like products and entertaining, we're like, it's a bitch and stitch. Bring your cross stitch. We sit around, we drink, we cross stitch, and we just complain. We just complain about things and judge other people that we know. So it's really fun. And we learned to do that over Zoom during Corona. So I'm like, okay, if you're moving to a new place, if you're already in a new place, set some dates with your friends. Be like, hey, Monday night, my friend Beck and I, we have Zoom sushi. We have FaceTime sushi with each other. And we've been doing this for a long time. Even in New York, if it was raining or cold or something, I'll get sushi, she'll get sushi. Even though the times are different, I can eat dinner at 3 p.m. It's fine. And we set the phone up and we just talk. So have some of those things in place. You're going to feel more anchored to the tribe that you know. And therefore, you're going to feel confident to go out and make a new tribe. I moved here and I went absolutely bananas on activities. Bananas. When I moved here, I was like, I want to get more knowledgeable about 2 things that start with an H. Can you guess what they are? Horses and handguns. I have shot a lot. I was in Army ROTC. I talk about it all the time. I feel very comfortable with a rifle or a shotgun on a range. I'm not toting it around like Target, for God's sakes. In New York, you can't. Anyway. But I am not super familiar with handguns, and I wanted to get more familiar. This is Montana. This is the country. There's bears. I mean, there's bears. And that's like not a joke. Like, oh no, there's a lot of bears, and you got to be... You got to mind your P's and Q's. And people, a lot of backpackers, they carry handguns, like 10 millimeters. That's a big gun, 10 mil. Because if a bear charges you, you can't negotiate with it. So anyway, but I signed up for like this ladies handgun course at this local range. And I did it on purpose for ladies because I'm like, I don't want to see these like dudes like thinking they're fucking John Wayne out there. I want to be around chicks. And sure enough, I made friends. I mean, each class was like 7 hours. So we spent a lot of time together. We spent a lot of time in the range. It's a small town. We're helping each other load our magazines and everything like that. And I made friends. And it's more than just mingling with people, because anyone can chit chat someone, at the range or whatever. I am very bold. I do all the things with girls that I don't do with guys. That might have came out wrong because I'm bisexual. But with boys, I don't text first. I might swipe on them. I never message first. I play hard to get. You must come after me. Oh, it's Montana. You like to hunt? Honey, I'm a lot smarter than an elk. Good luck. But with girls, I'm like, hi, how are you? What's your name? I'm Shallon. Where are you from? Let's go out. Blah, blah, blah. I'm aggressive. I'm aggressive because look, if people don't want to be friends with me, that's fine. I don't even know you. Like I don't know that we click. I have no fantasy projection of what our relationship's going to be like it can be with dating. So it's like, I just kind of throw it all out there and see what sticks, like buckshot. I don't know if that example resonates. I'm in so gun mode, it's when we shot 600 rounds the other day, 600 bullets. Do you know, that's a lot of shooting. My hands are killing me. They're killing me, but I am getting good. Guns are on the range. Relax. I'm not packing heat yet. So after class, I was like, hey, are you guys doing the third class? Are you doing this? Like, I'm going to go out and get we were getting beers, like one or two of us got beers. And so we like looped in the other people. Then we got the instructor because his wife had arrived. I was like, oh my God, bring her and blah, blah, blah. And so there was this big group and we went out. And even if like, I don't stay in touch with these girls, there were like 10 of us there. Even if I always endeavor to stay in touch with like one person, you know, I'm not like, this is my new 10-person crew now. We're rolling deep. Like, I would love to have a click or a connection with just one person. And even if not though, tonight was a win. Today was a win. I got to just talk to other people. I got to be reminded that I'm a social person. People like me. I'm not just like this hideous monster who's going to roam the earth alone forever. It shakes that loneliness off. It shakes the dust off. And again, it gives you the confidence to keep going. I'm also doing a lot of horseback riding classes and I'm chatting up the instructors and blah, blah, blah. And it's also important to tell everyone you're new in town. Hey, I'm new in town, looking to meet people. And if you need to, pretend like you already have friends. You know, pretend like you're not completely alone. It's like, yeah, I've got some friends from college who moved up here and I see them, but you know what? We're always looking to add to the group. So if you know anyone who's also new in town or whatever, have them give me a holler, have them hit me up on Instagram. Easy. Because again, if they're not into it, who fucking cares? Fuck you then. No skin off my back. I don't care. But you would be surprised how many people want to make friends. Well, you might be surprised. I'm not surprised. You know why? Because the number one question I get from you guys is how to make friends. How to make friends as an adult. We think we know how to make friends. We grow up in elementary school, we have friends, middle school, high school, college. And then we get out into the real world and we're like, wait, where's my homeroom class where the girl who's sitting next to me is just going to become my best friend automatically? Or I'm sorry, where's a sorority I can join? Like a local non-collegiate sorority, like an adult sorority? I was even thinking, I was like, I wish somehow I could just find the cool girls in town and like apply to join their crew. Be like, hi, I want to introduce myself. I'm Shallon. I would just like to let you know that I am cool. Like I am, you know, just like overall, not like cool for here, but just like cool in general. I have other friends. They believe I'm cool. So I am now part of this cool group. You're welcome. Feel free to give me a nickname as long as I approve it. You kind of just want to do that. But yeah, you get out into the real world and you realize that so much of your friendships were situational. It was literally the girl sitting next to you in math class. It was the girls on your volleyball team and you didn't like, you know, you don't get cast on a team. What do you get? Recruited? You join? You can tell it's been a long time since I played hockey. I'm like, I don't know. Like they're situational. And that's why it's difficult when you don't click with someone because you kind of can't get away from them. But as an adult, you can get away from your enemies. But the downside is you also really have to cultivate your friends purposefully and make them purposefully. And it can be difficult. And it can make you feel like, oh my God, wait, I have no friendship skill. Wait, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing in a category that I always assumed I knew what I was doing, or I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be. It's not difficult, it's just different. That's all. It's just different. It's just a different skill set, but it's not a skill set that you actually don't possess. You possess the skills to bond with other people. I guarantee you that you do. I guarantee you that you do. You possess the skill set to be a good listener, which is the foundation of friendship. So you're new in town, let people know. Also, get on the apps. Now, okay, get on the apps and get on Tinder, but this can be a slippery slope because you don't want to be that person, this weirdo who only has boyfriends and no friends. You know, you don't want to be that girl. And you don't want to latch onto a guy because now he's your whole social system. That's a very emotionally dangerous place to be in because then if he leaves you, he takes your entire world with him. No. But, you know, go out on a few dates and just be like, hey, yeah, like I have some friends here, even if it's a lie. I have some friends here, but like, you know, if you know any fun girls or like, you can be like, hey, do any of your girlfriends like have a good gym that they like to go to? Or like, I don't know, what would be a fun happy hour place for me and my friends to go to? What do your female friends say? And I've said that to boys that I date and they're like, oh my gosh, you'd actually love my friend Lauren. I told her about you. She wants to hang out. Like I've met a lot of girls through boys that I've dated. And the boys are like, okay, we no longer need you. You're out of this equation, my friend. Goodbye. But you stay friends with the girls. And it only takes one or two friends. It really only takes one or two things on your calendar to make you feel like not a lonely loser. You know? Like, I've got a friend date at the end of the week with a friend who, she's a friend of my friend from high school, and she moved here, and she's like also from my county in California. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you moved to Montana. My friend did too, and blah, blah, blah. If you put things out on like social media, also be like, hey, I'm moving here. I'm going to this new school. Let me know if you have any like fun, cool people you think I should meet or who I'd get along with. Why not? If anyone thinks you're a loser for doing that, they are the loser. They are the loser. I promise you. I'll cyberbully them I don't fucking care. Don't shit on my shalligators for trying to make friends. But I've actually never heard of someone dogging someone for doing that. I really haven't. I've never heard of someone being like, oh, look at her trying to make friends. Weird. Because like I said, it's the number one question I get, how to make friends. And the good news is everyone wants that. I mean, the bad news is you guys are all kind of like hungering for that connection, but the good news is everyone's hungering for that connection. That's great. That's great. It's actually very easy to make friends in New York City, and people don't think it because like, oh, New Yorkers are rude. But when you think about it, everyone in New York is far from home for the most part. It's a busy city. Everyone's sort of like anxious about their place in life. And so everyone is sort of adventurous as well. And that means they're outgoing. There's a lot of time to like bump into people in the street, chit chat at a bar. The hardest place I found to make friends is Southern California, like in my hometown. Twice this has happened to me. Twice. I don't know if you've had this experience, but like you're at a bar just like waiting for a drink or get the bartender's attention. And you just chit chat with the person next to you. In New York, we do that all the time. It's not weird. Twice in Southern California, I've been at a restaurant doing that. And the girls have been like, I am so flattered, but I am straight. Like I'm here with my boyfriend. I'm so flattered though. But I'm straight. I was like, you think I couldn't do better than you? I was like, cool, I am too. So I'm straight enough. I wasn't hitting on them. And I was just like, okay, weirdo. But that's, twice. Fucking crazy. And those experiences kept me in New York. So I'm like, what is it like out there? But those people are weirdos. And I didn't want to be friends with them. I also wouldn't hook up with them. I could do so much better. One was wearing like sports sandals. Give me a break. Go get back in your Subaru and leave me alone. Don't even get me started. For the most part though, people want to make friends. They want that connection. So be bold. Invite people over. Sign up for things that are regular. Go to the same Pilates class every week, twice a week, whatever it is, and start chatting people up. And then after a few weeks, be like, hey guys, I'm going to have some people over on Friday after class. If you guys want to come, I'm going to do a little wine tasting or a juice, whatever. Doesn't matter. Be like, if you want to cruise by, feel free. I live up the street. And if people don't come, that's okay, girl. That's okay. It's like fishing, which is like dating. You just cast that line out again and again and again. Endeavor to talk to one new person a week. That's all. Because again, you don't have to like meet a 10-person clique and just get right in there. So many people that I meet so many people that I have met ended up being a bridge to a best friend. And we ended up kind of cutting out that middleman. So even if you are talking to someone, you're like, she's not my best friend. I've been talking to her for 2 minutes here at the gun range. I can already tell she's not going to be my best friend. Okay, maybe she's not, but maybe one of her friends would be. Maybe one of her friends, like you guys, your Venn diagrams overlap. So just make it an attitude of yes. Yes, let's go out. Yes, I want to take that second gun class. Yes, I'll go for drinks. Yes, I want to meet your friend. Yes, I want to date your guy friend. Just yes. Be a yes man. Be a yes man. You can always wind it back. You can always cut people out, but you never know where things are going to lead, right? Also, last but not least, realize that there's a difference between being alone and lonely. It's very important that you give yourself time to be alone. Because I've been lonely at parties, when I'm with people, I was lonely in my sorority, but I was never alone. Now, as an adult, I can be by myself and not feel lonely because I'm alone purposefully. So while I try to fill my schedule with a lot of activities, as my archery class, fly fishing class, art classes, language stuff, running clubs, well, not running because I don't run, but you get the point. I feel that my alone time is luxurious because I can do what I want, and it's earned, and it's also not infinite. I have things to do. I have a place to be. I know that at the very least, when I go to riding class, even if I'm not bestie with the girl on the horse next to me, I'm interacting with people. I'm not such a hermit. I feel like I'm part of society. I feel like I'm part of the fabric of the society. And one thing I tell you guys all the time, volunteer. Studies show that it's a lot easier to bond with people when you're both engaged in the same activity. You release the bonding hormone, oxytocin. So this is for dating and for friendship. Like when you're both engaged in the same thing, I mean, you bond a lot when you're helping someone load a Glock 9. Okay? You have just this like unspoken trust in each other. Like I'm holding a gun and I could, But if you're doing something altruistic, helping out on a political campaign, volunteering at the animal shelter, you're going to meet people who are like-minded, who are also outgoing, like I said, stepping out on some sort of ledge, And at the worst case, the very worst case, even if you do all these things, you're shooting all the guns, you're riding all the horses, you're saving all the puppies, and you don't make friends, first of all, you will. You will. But you're going to feel fulfilled. Right? You're going to feel like that warm-blooded animal, like that alpha. You're going to be passionate, curious, busy. So there's not the time to dwell and to spiral. And that's going to make you magnetic. So that maybe you walk into an ice cream parlor and you start chit-chatting with the chick next to you and you're like, you know what? I like you. If you want to go get a latte sometime, you hit me up. I literally friend asked a girl out. We were talking at a coffee shop the other day and I was like, hey, if I see you again, let's hang out. She's like, okay. I was like, yeah. And again, if people think you're weird or creepy, fuck them. Bye. There's 4 billion women on planet Earth. Think I need you in your sports sandals rejecting me here at the Yard House, Fashion Island? I don't. So cast a wide net. Let people know you want to make friends. It's not lame. It's not pathetic. It's human nature. People who think it's weird, they're the outsiders and abnormal ones, not you. So be bold. And hopefully, as I continue on this journey of like making friends, I'm going to be like doing more story times and telling you the good, the bad, and the ugly about it. Cause I'm sure there's going to be times I'm like, I saw this girl with my friend and she slept with the guy I'm dating. Yo, she better not if I complete all these handgun classes. Think twice, sweetheart. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm with you. And hopefully I'm out on a ledge and paving a way for you guys to do things that maybe had seemed a little scary before. But look, if I can do it, you can do it. I promise. There's nothing that I'm doing, that is insulating me from all of the social fears that all of us have. Like, there's not some magic formula I have. There's not some magic force field. I feel the same things you guys do. I'm going through the same process that you guys are. And like, if I can do it and survive, I'm not that much smarter. Really not. So if I can do it, girl, you can do it. I want to know your experiences, what you're thinking about doing and what leaps you're thinking about taking in terms of moving to a city where you don't know anyone. Maybe it's a study abroad. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe you're moving because you broke up with someone. Let me know and we can all get through this together. And also connect in the comments. A lot of you guys might be in the same city. And how fun would that be? Because I know a lot of the Shallontrage will connect and you guys will make like IRL friends and it just warms the cockles of my reptilian little heart. I've actually got to go to barrel racing class. So I'll see you guys later. Love you, Shalloners.